I'm going to ask you a question. I hope it doesn't offend you.
Yeah.
But it's a real question.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with everybody, I'm sure something happens in everybody's life that is a huge bummer. Mm-hmm. But off that huge negative, off like everything that you've endured, mm-hmm. a huge positive, something follows that, right? In your case, you experienced a huge negative, turned into a pretty big positive, I would say, to get into a position where you're wanting to put, like boxing in the Paralympics, where you're still fighting what you assumed you couldn't do before. Mm-hmm. And not just that, you persevered over that. And I feel like it probably gave you a bit, not a chip on your shoulder, but like it motivated you even more to be a stronger person. Mm-hmm. So with everything that's happened now, with everything that you know now, going back to that moment of when you got shot, do you find that getting shot in the back and losing mm-hmm. the support of your limbs, and what most people would be so traumatized over and so upset over, turning into a positive and being able to do so much with it? Are you happy with the way things turned out? I mean, or is this kind of like, well, this is just my road now. Like, this is just where it led, and I'm just kind of going with it. I'm nor happy nor sad about it. It's just the scenario. Mm-hmm. Are you in some way happy and fulfilled with what's happened? Or are you still in sort of a state of, I don't want to say uncertainty, but a state of, I am where I am?
I think I'm happy, yeah. I'd say that's a very good question. I am happy where I am, for sure. There's times where I feel like I'm not happy for 100%, but I'd say, yeah, I think I'm a product of the environment I'm in. Mm-hmm. The support from the community to raise money for me to go out to Atlanta, Georgia, and sparring partners and family and friends across seas and everywhere, supporting me to do, I'm a product of all those, the love people are sharing and giving back to me. And I just want to give that back in a way too. Mm-hmm. I do talks at schools and stuff like that, right? And I do other things, but I want to give back, and I am happy on the direction I'm going right now. And I have still a lot of things to prove. And I always push the limits, as if you've seen or heard about the things I do. And I'll continue pushing the limits and hopefully inspiring others to get out there. Because, man, there's so many people out there who have a worse situation than me. I don't want to compare or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But after even I discharged from my rehab, I went down to Cambodia. I was able to bring the medical supplies there with a great friend of mine, and she gave me the great opportunity to go down there, and I was scared at first, but everyone saw me there and they were in awe because there's no one out there like me. It doesn't exist. People with spinal cord injury don't exist out there. Yeah, they die. They're dead. Once this happens, they're dead. There's no stabilizing. There's no nothing. There's no help. There's these kids out there, right? These lovely, lovely kids I was at the orphanage there with, and they don't get the same opportunities as me and you would mm-hmm. get. So the best thing that happened to me is actually stepping out of my own self. Me. No, you got to step out of yourself and look at others around you. You're not the only one going through a rough time right now. Mm-hmm. My mom, my family, these kids in Cambodia, they don't have family or anything like that out there. Mm-hmm. All they got is themselves, and it could be anywhere around the world, right? Yeah. That itself just inspired me to keep going. And even doing my rehab in the States, I met someone that was shot 9 times, a lady that was shot 9 times. Angry boyfriend came home with his automatic pistol and lit her up. Just crazy. She's a quadriplegic. And there's so many stories. We all have a story out there. Again, our attitude, our support, the loved ones around us. That's why I say I'm a product of my environment. Everyone who knows me, who showed me love, care, compassion, and that's all I have.
Yeah.
I'll continue doing what I'm doing and moving on that direction.
There are people that are in your circumstance that don't do as much as you do, or that are stuck in a rut, or are still in depression 10, 15 years later, or just kind of sat back and said, well, my life is in a chair. But I look at your Instagram, it's not just the boxing that you do, you know? You do a lot of other things too.
Did the Grand Fondo, 223 kilometers. That was a big one, big push for me from Vancouver to Whistler in a hand cycle. A little victory, and you get that little snowball effect, which is you got to keep upping and doing it and get better. But you can't help someone who doesn't want to help themselves. And it's you that has to make the decision. Look, I want to do better. I want to do better. I want to get out of this hole, this dark hole where I'm in right now. And I want to get out of this and make it better. And having a proper support system. But at the end of the day, it's you that has to make that decision. You have to want it. You want to change. You have to. And if you can't do it, no one can force you to.
Definitely.
Yeah.